Hello, everyone. I hope you're good. Happy new month. It's April, full of the spirit, not April Fool. It's really nice to be here and to record this episode. I'm a bit down. I ate something that turned my system upside down, and I've been sick for the past couple of days. But I'm recovering, and I'm very very excited to be able to walk freely again, happily, because it was really bad. I learned many things from actually being sick for the past 2 days. Like, one thing I learned was I really miss spending time with my family. Like, so while I was sick, my mom came to the hospital to see me. And she came because I also said that, I'm down currently, went to the hospital. I was just trying to call if you can know somebody that blah, blah, blah. And next thing, she shows up in the hospital and I'm like, oh my God. And I get very, very mushy and tears start coming out from my eye. Not because I was in ridiculous pain, but just because, like, my mom showed up just like that, you get. And this evening I was just thinking about how I really miss hanging out with my brother. I remember about 5 years ago, he told me I would really enjoy a certain show, like a TV show. And I'm currently watching the show. And as I'm watching it, I'm realizing why he would think I would enjoy it. And he was absolutely right. So that's another reminder why I really miss my brother. Like, hanging out with my brother 247. But it's fantastic how time flies. We are both married in our various houses now. And we can only hang out for a couple of hours. Oduduwa, please. And the second thing I learned, which I think is very applicable and very useful, is your health matters more than your preference. So why did I fall sick? I took something that was sort of expired, but not expired. Do you get? It's just like when Gala spoils on the last day of the B2B BB, which is like best before, and you eat it and then it's expired because maybe they made it 7 a.m. or 1 a.m. actually, because you can never really tell what time. So it's good to eat whatever you want to eat a day before it gets expired. So I had something like that, and it absolutely ruined my stomach. I didn't even really have to take it. I just took it because I was like, it'd be nice to not allow this thing to waste. And because I was just that decision took me out for 2 days. Ridiculous. But yeah, so my preference didn't matter. And I think a lot of times, especially in our generation where we talk a lot about our opinions and preference and all the things that we rate or value because we decide to rate or value, I think we have an opinion about, we then think like our opinion is what, or our preference is what matters the most. But when it comes to your health, your preference doesn't matter. So some people will say they like to eat once a day, but that's not a good preference. So you shouldn't actually eat once a day. You need to eat adequately enough for your body to be able to stay healthy. Your preference could be eating carbs all day, but you shouldn't eat carbs all day because your body needs a certain amount of, vitamins in various forms for you to stay healthy. So your health matters more than your preference. I think that's a very, very strong thing to think about. What are the things that you're currently doing that is impeding your health in one way or the other? that you know that you shouldn't be doing, but you just see it as a preference thing, like I choose to do this or I decide to do this because I can, but you're actually suffering because of that. Very, 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 very interesting food for thought. And it's a good question to ask ourselves, to be honest, at every point in time. Like, what is that thing that I'm holding on to that I shouldn't be holding on to? But I just want to show that I have the exercise of authority. Yeah, because it's very easy as an adult to fall into that trap where you want to do what you can because you can, do you get? But you really shouldn't because it's not healthy for you. Like, no, the thing about adulthood is that when you're a child, they tell you that, once you become an adult, you can do anything you like. But then when you become an adult, nobody tells you sort of that you need checks and balances for you to function properly. You need checks and balances for you to not live a wayward life, to be honest, because if a man does anything that comes to his mind because he can, he would not be living a life of freedom. He would be living a life of constant bondage to his will and his desires. Pasteur said something like that before. So yeah, that's the second thing I learned from being sick for 2 days. I'm still recovering, but I took time to rest, sleep, play games, watch Billions, and basically just relax a bit as much as possible. We had our first 1,000 listens on the podcast. So yeah, it's a thing of pride and excitement. I feel that oomph that YouTubers feel when they see subscribers and then they hit the milestone. So yeah, we have over 1,000 listens on the podcast now. Even though the real audience for the podcast have not arrived, which is my children, which are my children. I'm not going to do that out of it, just so that you know that people share on podcasts. Perfection is just an idea. It's not a reality. That's what editing does. But yeah, I'm very happy because we did it, It's really nice to see 1,000 views and be like, that's really good. So 1,000 listens on the podcast. It's really good. This will be the 14th episode of this podcast. I'm really excited about the next 14 episodes. I want to do a Q&A. I think, although I come up with ideas of what I want to talk about, and I have tons of them, but it'd be good to sort of answer questions that people have and answer ideas that people would like to clarify, or just basically provide insights to help people that listen, and also just general people that have questions. That being said, I think a lot of people, to a very large extent, underestimate how important it is for you to watch your health and how your preference is not the way to go. There is the whole imbalance of people creating echo chambers and people around them, their friends, people that do not check or balance them, but people that just make your thoughts louder. People that they are soundboards and they are yes men. It's very common for people to have those kind of people around them, and I don't think it's healthy. Sometime this week, I saw a video on the internet, on YouTube actually, that was describing how there has been a decline in friendships. And I was like, that's very interesting. And I think it's very valid, because now everybody feels like they're connected as per the internet, but we don't have solid friendships as per depth. It's just people that know about each other, people that constantly hear the thoughts of and sometimes experiences of other people, but we don't have deep friendships, and it's because conversations are more shallow, people are less vulnerable, people just tick off boxes in form of interactions, and there is no depth in truth. And it's a big problem, because what you realize is that people can't influence themselves because there's no enough depth. It's just like how there are influencers that have millions of followers, but they don't actually have a lot of influence over the people that follow them. People just follow them for following sake, not because they know them. Do you get? But there are some influencers that have smaller number of followers, but they have more intimate communities, and that's actually a very terrible example to give when it comes to friendships. Do you get? But it's just a good example of what is currently happening. So I think it's very important to double down on friendships. Actually intentionally develop the friendships around you. Ensure that you have people that you can open up to, people that make your life more wholesome, not because they hear you and they don't defer, but because they are intentional about you just as you are about them, and not just in one way but in all the ways you get, not just in agreeing but also in disagreeing, because it's important for people to disagree with you as often as you need that check and balance. So it's important to have that check and that balance in your life. It's crucial, actually. I currently, the checks and balances I have in my life, I have my church, I have my wife, I have my co-founders and business partners, and I have the Holy Spirit, most importantly. And those are the checks and balances I have in my life that help me to not make bad decisions or consistent bad decisions. I feel like it's important. You can make you get one bad decision, but you shouldn't make like 15 bad decisions. Like, have you ever seen people that just wonder, is there not anybody around this person to tell this person that you are moving like a mole? And it's a very important thing. Like, don't you have people that check you? So yeah, it's part of your preservation to have people that limits how far you can go just because you want to. So yeah. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for 1,000 listens. Happy new month. I am going to do a Q&A. Do ask me all the questions you want to ask me about anything from relationship, family, business. I've not really gone all out to talk about business on this podcast because I find it to be a very peaceful space where I'm not CEOing or having that whole serious work vibe. But maybe I introduce that. But people need to ask so that I know what aspects to talk about, because business is one broad thing, but at the basis of everything that is business is relationship. That's all that really matters in business. But yeah, so do let me know what you would like to me to answer in the Q&A session. Thank you very much. I'm recovering. I don't know if you can feel it in my voice, but I'm good. And thank you very much. Happy new month, and do have a wonderful day ahead. Cheers, guys.